Make sure you check on the person that doesn't seem to be the obvious person. Sometimes the people who have it all together or appear to have it all together are the people that are struggling inside because they're holding it together for everybody else. So they don't have room to be able to reach out to somebody else to show that they need help because they're too busy helping everybody else.
Let's go, let's grow, let's get it.
What's going on? My name is carlosVspencer. Thank y'all so much for joining in another week with us. Those of you who are watching in and those of you who are listening in on the podcast, we want you to become better. We believe that you're becoming better. Keep going at this information and filling yourself up with it. Whether you're listening to the podcast, listen to it again. Or if you're watching on YouTube or you're watching on a social media platform, watch it again. If you've gone through some of the episodes that are back before you and you found one that's your favorite one or a good one to you, watch it again. Don't just watch this or listen to this one time. Get it into you over and over and over again, because when you listen to it again, when you watch it again, you're actually a different person than the person who heard it the first time. So now that person who heard it the second time is on a different level. So when you're on a different level, you now hear different things that you didn't hear before or see different things that you didn't see before. I got to spend some time here. You ever watch a movie the second time and you saw something in the movie the second time that you didn't see the first time? You ever listen to a song over and over and over again, and some years later you hear a lyric that you never heard before? It's because you're now putting yourself back into this space as a person who's heard or seen it before. So now you're hearing and looking for different things. It's also said, I believe statistics do show when you go to an event and you listen to some information, you only retain about 15% of the information. 15%. That means you're missing something, because a lot of times we're busy doing something. If you saw the episode a couple weeks ago, if you saw that one, we talked about the information we let come into our minds, and we got a lot of thoughts that are coming in. And sometimes we have thoughts that are coming in while we're listening, while we're watching this. I want to talk about something today that a dear friend of mine says, this statement, and it just was really on my heart to put this information out here today. The statement was, be sure to check on your strong friend. Again, be sure, make sure you check on your strong friend. I want you to listen into this clip real quick. Okay, so those of you who watch this, you'll see something here. And if you didn't, I'm just going to explain it for those just listening so you can just hear. What happened in this clip, it was two gentlemen, they were going to, I believe it was a soccer game. And then while they were at this game, one was really excited. He was having a good time. He was enjoying himself, right? And while he was enjoying himself, having a good time, his friend with them seemed to be disturbed. His friend with them seemed to be kind of bothered. His friend seemed to be a little bit sad. And they were going to these games, and they showed them throughout the seasons through different games. And while they were going to these different games, one person into the games, he's cheering for them, he's having a good time, waving his flag, and the other person just seems to be kind of sad and just kind of monotone, kind of, not excited at all, and kind of even keel, I guess you would say. And it seemed like something might have been bothering that person. Again, they keep showing these different games. Both people are acting the same way. One's excited, one's not. Finally, they get to a point where only one person is at the game. And when one person is at the game, he's looking at the seat where the other person used to be sitting next to him, probably his really good friend, best friend, or family member. And the person is not there. And he's kind of remembering the other person. It might have been a jersey or something put on the chair next to him because he's remembering the person that was with him. Interestingly enough, the person who was no longer there was the person who appeared to be excited at every game. It was the person who appeared to be enjoying the game and in the game and very into what was going on. And when they got to the end of it, that person was no longer there. And the message that went with that is the message that I want to share today. Make sure you check on your strong friend. Make sure you check on the person that doesn't seem to be the obvious person. Sometimes the people who have it all together or appear to have it all together are the people that are struggling inside because they're holding it together for everybody else. So they don't have room to be able to reach out to somebody else to show that they need help because they're too busy helping everybody else. See, the obvious person, we kind of think, oh, they're all right. Oh, they're always okay. The obvious person seems, I don't know if you remember some years ago where Twitch, he was a dancer. He was also a DJ for, I believe it was Ellen DeGeneres on her talk show, and just full of life. Like one of those people where you would see and had tons of energy performing or tons of energy dancing, or while he was DJing, smile on his face, seemed to be a person that you would want to be around. Well, unfortunately, he took his life. And when it happened, the world of the people who at least knew of him, the response was, wow, he seemed so happy. He was married. I believe he had some children or a child. Seemed to be like everything was good. Seemed to have fortune, fame, wealth, like in the limelight. Seemed to have the life that people would want to have, that people would imagine that they could have, that you would think that this person had everything. You would think that this was the strong person. And a lot of times, the strong person is the person that nobody tends to check on because they have this appearance that everything is okay. And many times they're the person that people need to check on. Now, don't get me wrong. The person who definitely looks like they need some help or looks like you need to check on them, you should check on them as well. We're doing this thing called Don't Quit. And in this initiative that we're doing, we're taking it around and we're about to go around to different places, different schools and such, and have a production. And it shows these two different characters, and it shows one character who has it seemed to be kind of all together, another character who's kind of struggling. But it shows both things. It shows that you should check on the person who definitely seems like they have something going on. But at the same time, you should check on the person who appears to have it all together. There's a scripture passage that says, woe to him who's alone, because when he falls, he has no one to catch him. But the person who's in wise counsel, when they fall, they have somebody to pick them back up. One of the most interesting things I found out, or I saw in that passage, was the person who had nobody around and the person who had somebody around, both people fail. The difference was the one who fell with nobody around had nobody to catch them. The one who fell when they had people around had somebody to catch them. There's also another passage that says there's a house. In this house, the rains came, the flood came, the wind came and beat upon this house. And this house fell. And great was its fall because it was built on sand. There was another house. The rain came, the flood came, the winds came. My grandfather would say destruction came from every angle and beat upon this house. And this house stood because it was built upon a rock. Again, both houses went through the same thing. But the house that had a different foundation, the house that had a different structure, the house that had something strong that it was upon, it withstood the things that it went through because it had the foundation, not because it never went through anything. I want to talk to you. Who is the strong person? It's not that you're not going to go through anything. I want to talk to you who may feel like you're not the strong person. You are going to go through some things. And I want to talk to both of you and tell you that nothing is wrong with you just because you're going through something. You're going through something because life has a way of testing people. Life has a way of showing up. Winter, summer, spring, or fall. These seasons come every year. Winter, summer, spring, or fall. In 5 years from now, you know what seasons are going to come? Winter, summer, spring, and fall. Since those seasons are going to show up all the time, nothing is wrong with the seasons and nothing is wrong with this particular year. These are seasons. They come, they go. They're ebbs and flows. I'm not saying what you're going through is easy, but I am saying that you're going through something, and it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you or there is something wrong. I'll end with this. This too shall pass. I heard someone say this, and it stuck with me so powerfully. They say, I wish I knew that this too shall pass. That when things are hard, when things are difficult and things are going wrong, this too shall pass. But when things are good and things are great and things seem to be wonderful, this too shall pass. Both things happen. They said life is a warning to the rich and it's good news to the poor. This too shall pass. What do you mean, Carlos? Those who may have everything great, understand that life keeps coming on and it keeps happening. Those who are going through some things that are difficult, life keeps happening and life keeps going on. Check on your strong friend. Check on the obvious person as well. And understand that this too shall pass. I really hope this helped you out. Please share this message with somebody who may need to hear it. I believe somebody is dealing with this and either needs to be checked on or you know that you need to check on somebody else. I'm carlosVspencer. Thank you for joining us here on another week. Let's go. Let's grow. Let's get it.
Let's go.